Good evening, everyone. My name is Roozbeh Farhadi, and I'm running to be your next Ontario Liberal Party candidate in Richmond Hill. I hope to earn your trust and support. First, I would like to thank all of you for taking the time and being here tonight. Thank you to the staff and volunteers of the Ontario Liberal Party who are helping conduct not only tonight's meeting, but all the nominations meeting over the past year. As someone who has worked hard behind the scenes on numerous campaigns, I know how significant and impactful the work of volunteers, riding associations, and the party staff is to any campaign, especially as we work to rebuild and be ready to take on Doug Ford during the next election. I also want to thank Stephen Del Duca, who has been leading our party under extremely tough circumstances, having just won few days before our province and nation shut down due to COVID pandemic. Since becoming a leader, Stephen has never shied away from making right, albeit tough calls, whether asking for more measures to help protect small businesses or being the first leader of any party to call for mandatory vaccination for frontline workers and education workers. Stephen Del Duca led the way by demanding the implementation of a vaccine certificate weeks before Doug Ford grudgingly accepted. These are just a few examples of why I'm so proud to be a Liberal, why I'm running to be an Ontario Liberal Party candidate under Stephen Del Duca's leadership. Lastly, I would like to thank Parsa. Thank you for stepping up and putting your name forward in this nomination race. I look forward to working with you in the future to ensure that Richmond Hill gets the representative it needs. As we work together to make sure Doug Ford is a one-term premier, we should remember experience matters. It's especially important that we have representatives in government that have experience to help ensure good decisions are made. My own experience in the private sector with the Ontario Liberal Party and my time as a reservist in the Canadian Armed Forces have taught me a lot. My first political experience started in 1999, and I have since been involved in the Liberal Party in many capacities. In 2013, I had the opportunity to connect with Dr. Roozbeh Farhadi, who not only was the first Iranian Canadian elected to the office as member of provincial parliament for Richmond Hill, but also as someone who became an inspiration for the community. His work and success paved the way for many youth, including myself, to step up and get involved in the political process. I've been involved in a riding association executive for many years, and also served as Chief Financial Officer for two of Dr. Farhadi's provincial campaigns. I want to thank Dr. Farhadi for his years of service to our community. We are a better province because of his contributions. I was also lucky enough to meet a young, smart, and talented person who at the time worked for Dr. Farhadi. We worked together on many community events and campaigns as friends. Over time, we fell in love. Today, I'm the luckiest man to get to call her my wife. I could not be more proud of her accomplishments, and I'm eternally grateful for her support. Needless to say, being involved in politics has given me many gifts. I met a mentor in Dr. Farhadi, have made long-lasting connections with our community, and met my beautiful wife. I'm a Liberal today because of my family and the values they instilled in me from a young age. I believe the foundation of a society is family. When we look at who we want to represent us and what political party is in power, I believe we should look at how their values match ours. I was born in Iran to incredibly hardworking parents. They taught my brother, sister, and I to always have three important pillars of life in mind: good thoughts, good words, good deeds. These three pillars have guided everything I do and have shaped my beliefs and values in so many ways. Take education. Access to education is something so many of us take for granted. My parents place such a value on getting a good education and setting yourself up for success. It has driven my young brother to get his PhD and contribute to critical cancer research, my younger sister to become a nurse and work tirelessly on the front lines during the pandemic, and has driven me to obtain my Master's of Business Administration from Queen's University, along with several other professional designations. I believe everyone's access to higher education should be based on their hard work and talent, not their or their family's wealth. This is the reason I have stepped forward to help change the damage Doug Ford's government has made to our province and post-secondary system. We need to ensure that future generations have access to programs so that they too can contribute to cancer research or become nurses to take care of our population. My parents also taught me to respect my elders and take care of the people who have sacrificed so much for us. One of the biggest challenges of the ongoing pandemic has highlighted it is significant need that we need to take care of our seniors and those in long-term care facilities. We need to care for the physical and mental health of our seniors so that they can grow old with dignity in their homes for as long as possible. I would never want to imagine my grandparents being treated the way we heard some of our most vulnerable have been treated during this pandemic. It's on all of us to fix the system and ensure that what we heard and saw never happens again. From a young age, I also learned that it is important to take care of our environment and keep our planet safe. Protecting our planet and tackling the climate crisis is the single biggest challenge of our generation. There is no more time to debate if the climate change is real. It is time to take action. We cannot afford a government that continues to take no meaningful action and denies the problem. As someone who has spent most of their career in the financial sector, working with small business and families, I know that climate change is on their mind. It is not a question of choosing our economic success over protecting our environment. It is rather implementing a plan to protect our environment and being a leader in a greener economy that works for everyone. Many may wonder why I'm leaving a well-paid career in financial sector and entering politics. Well, the answer is simple. I am a liberal because I passionately care about our youth having access to higher education, regardless of their family's wealth. Our seniors being able to retire with dignity, our healthcare system and frontline workers not being overwhelmed and exhausted. And I want to be involved in the fight against climate change. These are all critical areas that Doug Ford's government has not been able to properly address over the past 3 years. In fact, in many cases, we are worse off under Doug Ford. I want to be a local champion that fights to get these important pieces right. On October 1st, I ask that you support someone who has the experience both in private sector and political process to help make sure we have a candidate that can fight to win this riding back next year. I've spent a year on this campaign trail, meeting and speaking to hundreds of residents and community leaders of this amazing town of Richmond Hill, which I so proudly call home. I have heard loud and clear their needs and concerns, many of which I can relate to personally. On October 1st, please vote for me, Roozbeh Farhadi, a professional first-generation Iranian Canadian who has the experience, knowledge, and also the drive to keep working as hard as I possibly can to make sure you have an experienced local champion fighting for you. So thank you for your support, and I look forward to seeing you the next time I knock on your door.